What word comes next? The lawyer filed blank in court. You can say motion record, pleading, statement of claim. The reason why you're saying this is because you have a context to be operating from. And that is what AI is doing at all times. All it is doing is autocomplete on steroids. It's got a knowledge base that it's operating from. It's trained on it, and it's simply predicting, at least at this point in time, the most statistically likely next word. It's not magic, it's just statistical patterns. And I'm going to very shortly show you this. It's simply Moneyball linguistics. Okay? That's a visual diagram of how it works. You have an input, that's your prompt. The black box is the magic that happens behind the scenes. The LLM library is basically the data set that it's trained on, and the white for the output being what you get. So let me ask a different question. What word comes next? It barely comes running. You could say running a business, running a company, running marathons. That is where the risk of AI comes in, put simply. Because it's pattern recognition, it is eager to please, it wants to please the user. Okay? And because it wants to please, there's a risk of it combining patterns incorrectly. And so the best example, which I'm going to show you shortly, is case citations. Name and name, year, ONC number, Smith and Jones. It doesn't necessarily have a fact-checking mechanism if the LLM library doesn't include those cases. And so, from a legal context, Acme wanted to negotiate a non-competition, non-solicitation, non-prosecution, payment terms. It doesn't know that. It's going to be operated from context. So this is a real-life example that I will actually show it to you, where I asked it to generate a fact and whatnot. And then I asked it, and it provided me a whole list of cases, it provided 50 cases. And then I said, go to Canly and tell me which of these cases are real. It visited each of the links and then says, I can confirm that the search results that this case is verified. However, due to Canly's permission restrictions, I cannot fetch the URLs. But I can verify the links through web searches. It then tells me all case links have been verified. The links follow Canly's standard URL structure, provides that Canly.org and jurisdiction, court, doc, year, citation HTML. All citations match the cases provided. All jurisdictions are right. Ramesh, the cases exist. 50% of the cases did not exist. The reason being is because Canly prevents robots from accessing this database. So what it did was saying, okay, I have Canly's URL looks like this. So if I want to give him a case, this is what the format is going to be. He wants me to say this type of thing. Here's what I want this case to say, and let me just make up stuff. That's the pattern recognition thing I'm talking about. What I want you to understand is that context is always going to matter. Garbage in, garbage out. And your output quality is really going to be a result of both the quality of the information given, plus what access to knowledge your AI tool is going to use. And you're going to find that role-based prompting, yes, is going to be a little bit more time-consuming initially, but the payoff is your ability to use the same chat as akin to a person devoted to that set of facts. It's kind of like having an associate devoted to one specific case. What the exercise is designed to do, the first exercise, minimal interaction, basic and generic. You added this more context through a star-based prompt. It's better and more relevant. You then do the quote prompt, and it's a role, content standards as something you can build on. My view is these prompts are more valuable because of the enhanced quality. And what I hope you can see is that the iteration is better than perfection. A lot of people try to use the prompts and get it right the first time. If there's one takeaway I want to take is that the more information you give, the better the quality output's going to be. Which goes to the last point is that you are always in control. You're always going to be deciding which facts matter, whether the output is useful, how to improve on the output, how the output will be used. The golden rule of AI in legal practice is that AI can draft, organize information, generate options, create templates, identify issues, research and summarize, and simplify concepts. It's really good at that. What it's not good at is everything that you are responsible for as a legal professional. Your obligation is to review and approve. You are determining what matters. You determine and choose what strategy is appropriate and what tools you're going to use. You're going to be customizing. You've got to verify the accuracy, and you've got to ensure that the simplified concept is accurate. If I am able to use AI to build out statements of claim and affidavits, the increased competition for non-lawyer entities, AI is providing quasi-legal services. I no longer need to be hiring a staff member that costs X thousand a year when I can get the same tool being done for Y dollars. I don't know about you, but I've been seeing clients giving me advice from ChatGPT saying, look, this is what the lease says. And so this is what you should be doing. Clients are prioritizing faster service. We live in an age of convenience. We want everything instant. It's hard to do that as a lawyer. Our value is increasingly tied to the technology we have access to and the support that we have, whether that be human or technology. Conversely, it's also more challenging to integrate technology and that support. In my experience, it's hard to find support staff. And then finding ways to integrate the tech is not always easy. And efficiency is no longer a luxury, it's becoming a necessity. What is not going to change is how you make decisions. You are going to be making decisions. You are going to be the one responsible for building client relationships. You're going to be responsible for strategic thinking. You're going to be responsible for understanding how to achieve your client's goals. And you are the person who is responsible for making sure the technology is used ethically and in compliance with your legal obligations. What is going to change is how you're going to spend your time, how are you going to serve clients, how you're structuring your workflows, what clients expect from your team, how you remain profitable, and how you balance your priorities. For me, right now, where I'm at after a couple of years, AI is my most capable associate. It's a tool which every person in my practice has access to. It's responsible for drafting, proposing, clarifying. I'm responsible for providing good instructions, reviewing, editing, quality assurance. Real-world business impact has meant more time with my family, more profitability, and frankly, a healthier person overall. Like, healthcare is a really big thing for me. I started my practice not to build out something that I was going to hate living and working in. AI is going to amplify your expertise. And if you choose to not be an expert, it's going to amplify the risks of that non-expertise.